Now that we have the stringer almost ready to go, I start prepping the location where these stairs would be installed. I used a pressure-treated piece of lumber which would be sandwiched between the concrete and the stringer, giving me a good place to anchor the stairs to the ground. Now it's time to move the stringer into place. Luckily, it's only about 100 pounds at this point, and it fit like a glove, which means all my calculations turned out to be correct. Now, after getting the last piece of the stringer installed, I begin work on the tread supports, which would attach to the stringer and hold the stair tread. Although the shear strength of each support when using glue alone is about 5,000 pounds, I added quite a bit of dominoes which would serve a few purposes, adding gluing surface area as well as adding some mechanical shear strength, and of course what they are actually made for, alignment. After adding all the tread supports, I went through and sanded the entire stringer smooth and prepped it for paint. Now, so far the entire stringer is barely being supported at its base, so it's time to move on to make the steel cover, which would do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to preventing the entire staircase from collapsing. I used 1/4-inch steel, and this part would serve two purposes, since I would have no way to install the first step using a wood tread support. So this metal sleeve would also hold the very first step. Luckily, my brother was able to stop by and do all the metal work for me, since I have absolutely no knowledge of how to weld properly. Then after it was all welded, we cleaned up the look and spray painted it black. With this staircase, I'm going for a floating stair tread look, so I'll be painting the entire stringer black. And here you can see the finished look of the metal part, which would also support the very first step of the staircase. Now, when installing the stair treads, I added supports to the wall, which were anchored into the frame. Sometimes a little redundancy gives you peace of mind. Now, as the staircase is finally taking its shape, I added a few neat features like LED lights that are motion activated and light up one at a time, giving it a really cool guiding effect. It's now been over 2 years since I made this staircase, and it's held up very well. Surprisingly, it has no warping that I can see, and of course, are there things I would do differently if I was to do it all over again? Sure, but in the end, this staircase cost me under $1,500 and does the job great, all while looking beautiful. Hope you enjoyed the video.